God. So by connecting with Jesus, by coming to Jesus, by believing his gospel message, we become united with Jesus. And together with Jesus, we propagate peace. Let us move to our second point, justice. Some would say that justice is righteousness. Indeed, that of the Torah puts the equivalent of justice and righteousness. One dictionary says that justice is the exercise of authority in a manner that is right. It is a bit loose, but it is simple. It says justice is the exercise of authority in a manner that is right, that is proper. That is, we can do the opposite of that. Justice is not the abuse of authority. Justice is not impartiality. Justice brings in equality, yes, but it also brings in inequality. Yes, I say inequality and not unequality. I said inequality because with justice, you recognize a particular situation and you treat that particular situation in its specific rights. So that you do not say, this is the law, everybody must go under this. You must look at the context of every case before you administer justice. That's what we mean by inequality. Because you would see people like for example, many states, when there's a change in government, would pounce upon those that were in the upper class or that had power. And they would say that, all of them were corrupt, so we are going to deal with all of them. But we know, human beings as we are, that you can have rich and powerful that are corrupt. You can have rich and powerful that are righteous. And it is the business of the judge to say, who is this rich and powerful that is righteous, and who is this rich and powerful that is unjust, and take a decision. That's what we mean by inequality. Justice can also mean the reign of inequality. Now, I have spoken on a social dimension of justice. Let us look at a biblical dimension. And in a biblical dimension of justice, we need to look at what the Old Testament says and what the New Testament says. For the Old Testament, justice is the maintenance of a covenant relationship with God, an unbreakable one. God says in his Torah, you must not do this. If you want to maintain that environment of justice, God's justice, you must not do it. If God says you must do this, you must love him with your whole heart, mind, strength. If you fail to do otherwise, you are out of justice. You are out of God's righteousness. Because for the Jew, justice and righteousness are almost simultaneous. Sometimes for the Jew as well, justice is like a scale. They look at it, that whatever you are doing must be balanced. Whatever you are doing must, just as whatever God does, is a balanced act or a balanced thought. In New Testament justice, perhaps if we say Old Testament justice is Torah justice, in New Testament justice we will say it is grace justice. It is justice, but it is justice with mercy. It's justice with grace. As John said, The law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. So in Jesus' justice, the poor, the marginalized is given even extra attention. In Jesus' justice, he wants to reinstate power. He wants to reinstate dignity to the marginalized, the poor, because they are children of God, because they are sons of God. And so whatever others have that are privileged in this world, for Jesus' justice, even the poor, even the marginalized, even the sick, is entitled to justice. Justice which is more a grace from God. In Jesus' justice, we find the fulfillment of the power that we heard that Jesus has in Isaiah chapter 9, which Isaiah prophesied. That power, wonderful counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, being given to those who follow him, being given so that those who follow him will have the Spirit of God resting in them, will have the spirit of wisdom and understanding. When Jesus gives you that justice that comes from grace, you have these things. You have the spirit of wisdom and understanding. You have the spirit of counsel and might. You have the spirit of knowledge and the fear of God, because it's a gift that he gives to his people. This is, yes, some will say, what kind of justice is this? But this is the Christian justice. The Christian justice keeps to the truth, keeps to the law, and yet it gives you extras. It gives you the state of dignity. Our third point that we said that in the nations will find hope in Christ is the nations will find peace in Christ, because Christ is our peace. The nations will find justice in Christ because he is the Prince of Peace. He is the Lord of righteousness and justice. And